The following is an Outdoor Channel original production.
In the heart of the Mississippi Flyway, the Show Me State provides critical waterfowl habitat on both public and private lands during their migration. As we arrive, so have heavy thunderstorms.
Welcome to Missouri.
With the season's end drawing near, staying dry is never an option.
Ducks Unlimited is brought to you by Midway USA.
We have descended into the boot heel of Missouri at the Pinhook Hunting Club and joined members Rick Schurenberg, Baird Graham, and Holt Dugan. Situated near the Missouri Department of Conservation's 10-Mile Pond Conservation Area, these intensively managed lands are a beacon for waterfowl in a landscape that has seen as much as 90% of its historic wetlands drained.
I've always heard what wonderful waterfowl opportunity exists in the boot heel of Missouri, and I never hunted this area. You know, I mean, this is right in the center of the center. This is the heart of the biggest flyway in North America, the Mississippi Flyway. And people are catching on to the fact that the boot heel of Missouri is a great waterfowl area.
East Prairie, founded in 1883, is a small community located in the southeastern corner of Missouri, and it lies on the northern edge of the continent's most important wintering habitat for mallards and wood ducks, the Mississippi Alluvial Valley.
This, for me, was a first to be here. I wanted to just check out the resource. I'm very impressed. Now, the Pinhook Club is right next to 10-Mile Pond. 10-Mile Pond is a managed conservation area for the Missouri Department of Conservation. Great opportunity for people to come and enjoy this.
Southeast Missouri is pretty flat, you know, it's mainly an agricultural area. And the area we're hunting, 10-Mile Pond, you know, they've got about 4,500 acres. We join them. All of our hunting properties, we've got about 650 acres. About 250 acres is green timber, and the rest is agricultural crop fields. We plant food plots and, of course, flood, you know, probably 70% of that acreage.
It looks like a lot of ducks got up back along this willow line here. Typically in this area, right around the conservation area in mid-January to late January, they have high concentrations of birds. They have excellent hunting success. We have to plan so far ahead of time. We can't just go when the hunting is good. We have to pick dates and we go, and then we take our chances.
I guess the day before Wade arrived and had some thunderstorms move in the area, and a lot of thunder and lightning, and I think that further scattered the birds, so just had to get out and get in a willow break where, you know, a lot of the ducks had been traveling and flying, and you know, try to work on them as best we could, but they were pretty scattered.
Rick, you've got a beautiful spot here. I'm very impressed. You know, I've always heard of 10-Mile Pond area, and I've heard a lot about Pinhook, and so I am glad to be here. It's obvious you really do an intensive amount of farming on this place.
Yeah, well, thanks, Wade. We appreciate it. You know, we manage about 650 acres, and we adjoin a 10-mile area. And
A 10-mile is a Missouri waterfowl conservation area?
Conservation
public
area.
Hunting area?
It's a public area. We adjoin them just about everywhere.
Guys, we kicked a bunch of ducks up out of here. You think they're going to come trickling back in now? Just
I hope so. You know,
mid-morning?
I don't think we spooked them. I think they were getting out of here as we got in here, so hopefully they'll kind of trickle back in pairs, you know, and see what we can do. It's kind of cloudy, so
I love the setup, yeah. I don't like the day very much. But
yeah, we probably stick out like a sore thumb.
You got to deal with that. Well, let's put on face masks and then wait for a duck to show up.
All right.
First day of hunt was wet. You know, we were raining. I remember we were sitting there and kind of watching things go, and here came a wall of water at us. And you know, we run into issues like this. That's one of the problems you deal with.
Welcome to Missouri.
Welcome, thank you. Pleasure to be here, I think.
Woo! It poured rain on us, you know, and we all got soaking wet, and hey, we're still going to be there, you know, but then the lightning came, and about the first good bolt of lightning, we got out of there, and Came back to the cabin, had some breakfast, and you know, it kind of let up a little bit, so we headed back out again, and actually had a pretty decent afternoon.
One thing I like about hunting with Rick, he's very particular about the types of shots he likes to take. And he likes to get them in over the decoys close.
Shoot him. Stay.
Shoot over him now. He's dead.
There we go. Well, that was down on that end.
As the sun sets and legal shooting time expires, we retreat back to the Pinhook Lodge for a sneak peek at what has hooked these DU members.
Most waterfowl fly at speeds between 30 and 60 miles an hour, with many species averaging roughly 50 miles an hour. With a 50-mile-an-hour tailwind, migrating mallards are capable of traveling 800 miles during an 8-hour flight. Studies of duck energetics have shown that depending on the quality of the habitat available, a mallard needs to feed and rest for 3 to 7 days to replenish the energy expended during this 8-hour journey, highlighting the importance of migrational habitat.
Ducks Unlimited, brought to you by Midway USA, just about everything for hunting. And by Auto Vent Shade, lets fresh air in, keeps rain out.
Significant slow-moving thunderstorms have overfilled the banks here at the Pinhook Hunting Club in southeastern Missouri. On our first day, we have retreated to the lodge for hot showers, warm spirits, and a special chance to see what fuels the passion for these Missouri DU members at their club.
After we hunted the first afternoon, we came back to Pinhook Lodge, and man, they had a great meal prepared for us. I mean, just terrific. And then Rick said, "I got something I want to show you." And he had taken some video right out the back door of the lodge.
How long ago was this? Just 2 weeks?
Just a few days ago.
You know, the guy went and bought a very high quality camera, and he's learning to use it. And he wanted to share that with us. You know, that's a trend I see, is more and more sportsmen are getting into videoing their experiences. It's not all about how much they shoot. It's about, number one, management, learning about the resource, and number two, it's about getting that camera and getting out there and sharing it with other people. And of course, I was very enthusiastic about it. I said, man, look at the ducks, and that's right back here. And he said, oh yeah, and here's how we manage our water and our food. And it's not just about shooting, it's about the total enjoyment picture. And for many hunters, videoing is another step in that process.
It seems like every year, you know, the last 3 or 4 years have just been phenomenal for us. And it's hard to explain that to people, you know, and so we decided to buy a video camera and try to capture some of it. I mean, just some of the days we had were unbelievable.
After seeing this incredible video, we turn in for a good night's rest and dreams of cupped wings. The forecast is ever changing, and we cross our fingers for a possible break in this deluge in the morning.
Guys at Pinhook really have a nice setup. You know, they've got a beautiful shop. I was so envious. My shop at home is nothing but clutter. Just, you know, I go digging and looking for things. Down here, everything's in its place. Everything's lined up just so. The boots are all on the rack, and everybody knows whose boots are whose. And one thing I really enjoyed here was the canine congregation, I guess, for lack of a better term. And these guys are just part of the party, and they're in and out of the club, and especially the little a brown Labrador. I think he's 8 weeks old, named Gage.
You're gonna be out there one of these days, and it won't be long.
It's just something about picking up a little puppy like that and holding him, and he's trying to play with you, and having your hands on that little fur ball, it just makes you feel, it just warms your heart, you know.
This is my dog right here. He's gonna retrieve my ducks this morning.
Well, we got a little wind blowing this morning, and that rain's not pelting down. That's a good thing. Rick, I like this setup better today.
Oh yeah, me too.
I like the wind, you know. I like the lack of rain. There's a bunch of ducks flying up there. Duck hunters are eternal optimists, aren't they?
Gotta
If
be.
you weren't an optimist, you wouldn't be in this game. From day 1 to day 2, we had a little weather change. The wind had switched to the north. The temperature had dropped about 10 degrees. And the birds, you know, who knows why they do what they do. But something about that set of weather conditions put them in a little different frame of mind, and we had some beautiful duck work.
Shoot him.
We've had a quick and promising kickoff on our final morning. Will the forecast hold and bring us a sample of the video Rick shared last night? A cold front passed through in the night. The rains have ceased and the winds have shifted to a favorable northerly direction, promising more desirable conditions and new birds on our final day. We've set up along a willow break overlooking a flooded cornfield.
Rick, when do you all drain the water off your crop?
You know, we usually just wait till the end of March, most years.
So you're just providing habitat for ducks going back north, or you get a lot of utilization that time of year?
Oh, absolutely. It's full. It's just unreal that time of year. You know, we started from scratch when we bought the property. It was farmland, and there were no wells, no levees, and we got hooked up with a program with DU. They provided all the water control structures for us. In return, we hold water up till in the end of March, you know, for the return migration, and you know, it's really worked out pretty good.
I enjoyed talking to Rick about how Ducks Unlimited had been up here and consulted with him. And then I go over to 10 Mile Pond Conservation Area and talk to the manager, Rob Vincent, and we drove down to a new 40-acre development that Ducks Unlimited has been instrumental in setting up. And I asked Rob, what role does this play in your overall management scheme?
This area back here behind us was actually a opportunistic wetland. We'd only flooded when the river came out or rainfall or something. We got with Ducks Unlimited, and we got Ducks Unlimited pay for the well, the gearhead and turbine, and MDC provided the irrigation system, and then we reworked the levee and put a new structure in on this so we could have guaranteed water source to provide a hunting opportunity for these wetlands back here.
So this is a huntable, this
is a huntable unit.
Okay.
Missouri, like other Midwestern states, has lost the majority of its wetlands, in some instances more than 90%. In southeast Missouri, known as the boot heel because of its shape, 2.5 million acres of bottomland hardwoods that occurred historically have been reduced to well below 100,000 acres. The boot heel of Missouri is at the northern end of the Mississippi Alluvial Valley, MAV for short. It is essentially at the end of the funnel for the majority of the continent's wintering mallards. With wetland losses of 70% throughout the MAV, the relatively small state and federal management areas represent key waterfowl habitats that are essential to maintaining continental waterfowl populations. In Missouri, areas like Mingo National Wildlife Refuge and Duck Creek, Otter Slough, and 10 Mile Pond conservation areas form the core of the migration and wintering habitat at the northern extent of the MAV. Ducks Unlimited has worked with state and federal partners to conserve more than 100,000 acres in Missouri since 1988. And 10 Mile Pond Conservation Area is one example of DU's collaborative efforts throughout the Mississippi Alluvial Valley.
What kind of utilization do you get from hunters? Where do they come from?
Cape Girardeau to St. Louis. We've got people from St. Louis that drive down here routinely.
Everywhere I go, I can find projects where Ducks Unlimited had been on the ground to maintain the resource, to protect that resource, to manage it wisely so we can all enjoy it and so it'll be preserved for generations to come.
Easy, easy.
Go, go.
Good shot, yeah.
Had a girl.
There we go. Baird actually was the person who called me and made the first contact about coming to Pinhook in this 10-mile area. He's a good hunter, I can tell. He blows the duck call well, got a good dog, you know. He is a young charger, and he's found his place, you know. This is his spot. I kidded Holt the whole time we were down here about being Travis Tritt's brother. You know, he's got the long hair. He kind of looks like Travis Tritt. He was a creative writing major at the University of Tennessee. I mean, this guy's a poet. Good guys, good hunters, very enthusiastic, a lot of fun to be with. And it's not about the numbers with them. That's one thing I liked about them.
There's nothing like seeing that bird just hover over the water and, you know, because you got it there. You know, like you're not just sitting there waiting on it. You got to make them come to you.
Getting up early with your friends, I mean, you go out and do something that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. You have a good hunt, you know, watching the dogs work, it's all about the camaraderie and just being with your buddies and having a good time, for sure.
Ducks Unlimited, brought to you by Midway USA, just about everything for hunting. And by Auto Vent Shade, lets fresh air in, keeps rain out.
Wary late-season birds have scattered out with recent heavy rainfall here in the Boot Heel of Missouri. Despite difficult weather conditions, we've persevered and seen firsthand how DU works with state agencies such as the Missouri Department of Conservation and with private landowners to provide critical habitat, ensuring the skies are full of waterfowl for future generations.
Right.
You guys are on target down on the left end. Good shooting.
Good shot,
yeah.
Holt.
Yeah.
Good job, boy. Watch him, he's hit.
He's going down. Going down. All right.
He fell dead in that tree line.
Right over in the corner, yeah.
All right, we can pick him up. We'll count him.
He's coming hard.
Stay.
Having retrievers on the hunt just adds another dynamic of pleasure to the hunt. And we had Baird's dog, Emma, a young dog, just beginning to learn the ropes a little bit. And we had Rick's dog, Cash. Cash is the old pro. He's been at it a while, and he knows what he's doing. And Emma's just all energy and all learning and excitement.
Nice
Boy,
bird.
he fell out of the sky, didn't
I mean,
he? He decided he was gonna come, and
he took a dive now.
isn't that a beautiful duck?
Yeah.
While we were here, we had an opportunity to visit with the biologist and the assistant who were swabbing ducks for the H5N1 virus. And they're actually taking swabs from birds, specifically from teal and pintails and I think snow geese and white-fronted geese, birds that nest far up north, where there would be some opportunity for transpolar migration, birds that would come out of Siberia and Asia that could transmit flu to these species.
The species that we're doing, pintails, teal, shovelers, have the highest level of potential contact with birds that could be contaminated or infected with the H5N1 virus from the Southeast Asia European birds.
Okay.
And we have not found any birds on this continent that have H5N1.
You know, when that bird flu variety, the H5N1, first came on the scene, there was even a lot of speculation that waterfowl seasons would have to be closed, that it could be something that would pose a danger to sportsmen who hunt waterfowl. That's proven not to be true because the H5N1 virus has not been found in North America. All right, so I can take these gentlemen home and pluck them and get ready to cook them, huh?
You can.
Okay, they may just be.
Thank you very much for your participation.
Tonight. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Preston. Elizabeth, you guys, I appreciate the job you're doing for us. People like Preston and Elizabeth are on the front lines checking birds to make sure that that H5N1 virus does not appear, and I was glad to see them in there. These professionals that work at the state agency level, that are the DU regional biologists and people out across the country who have mud on their shoes, you know, and a lot of times they're wearing old comfortable clothes. They're the unsung heroes of conservation. 2 ducks came across the decoy as mallards, a drake and a hen.
They just dropped right out of the sky. We worked in one circle and they came in and called the shot, and actually they were just right in the gap that I had to shoot in, and I pulled up and the greenhead was right there in front of me, and that's the bird I squeezed on. And I think about the time I squeezed, the hen just got right there in the frame, and I got them both, you know. And it's kind of an accident. I don't make a habit out of shooting the hens any more than I have to, but anyway, I'll get a little mileage out of that double, I'm sure.
You're lining them up. I've spent most of my duck hunting life east of the Mississippi River, but within just 30 minutes or an hour drive time from this area. Never been here. Always wondered what it was like. Yeah, boy. Right. Woo, man. And now I'm about to go home, having seen it, having experienced it, having met people here, and I can go home and tell my buddies there is a real waterfowl paradise right across that river from where we are. The Boot Heel of Missouri is a star in the waterfowl world, and I'll guarantee you I'll be back.